Hello campers, welcome back to the Casual Car Camper. Today we're going to do a little experiment. We're going to try out the Honduran coffee from Wilderness Coffee, and I'm also going to do a head-to-head contest between my APG isobutane heater and my Biolite heater. The criteria are going to be speed and taste and ease of use. I preset up off camera just to speed up the video. The setup was much easier for the APG, so that's already a point in its favor because all I had to do was screw in the tank, which you've seen me set this up before. And then for the Biolite, I had to go get some wood to get started. I do have the wood pellets because I have found I like those better than trying to constantly break limbs and stuff, so it's easier for me. And also we'll find out, because we do know about how long it takes for it to boil normally, see if the wood pellets increase the heat as well. So we're going to start with our friend the APG. Put the lid on. It's already got 1 liter of water in here. I did fill both with 1 liter of water, so it would be a fair test. And we're going to start now. Open up, start it. Something's wrong. All right, it started. All right, so this is going, and I've got it on this old phone as a stopwatch. Stopwatch out on my other phone. And we're going. First we're gonna light it. What I have in here, I have some paper, a fat stick from True Value Hardware, and a little bit of paper from junk mail and packaging, and I have an old metal bar to a little bit of pine in there too. That's why that's the smoking part. Just gonna put a little bit of chips in. All right, so the fire is going right now. I'm just gonna get the fuel pellets in there. All right, 1 second campers, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get a little bit more wood because the fuel pellets aren't quite catching right. All right, so 5 minutes in, we're still trying to get the fire going satisfactory, but we have boiling water out of the APG. All right, I'm using 1 scoop because it's only 1 liter of water compared to previous times that I've used 2 liters. So this should be perfect. Alrighty then. Poured the coffee in too fast, caused a boil over, and it put out the flame. Let's see if we can get this started again. There we go. It started. I've got about 1/4 power because that's all you really need for this. We're going to simmer the coffee for 4 minutes. Okay. The flame's going good on the Biolite. I'll probably take a minute off of the final time for this because it was going good, but I was distracted by getting the APG. So I'll see y'all in about 3 minutes. All right, campers, the APG is done with the coffee. Pour a little water, cold water in just to push the grounds to the bottom. Put the lid on. Make sure it's on tight so I don't burn myself this time. Okay, so to get the APG off the burner is just a twist. Okay. Looks and smells a little on the weak side, the Honduran. I don't know if that's because we had the spillover and some of the grounds got pushed out, or if it's just the nature of the Honduran. But I'm going to take a moment, deliver coffee to one of my other taste testers, and I'll be right back. Remember where I put my coffee. Putting the lid back on. I like to have the lids on because they just, it holds in the heat, so especially when you're boiling, it'll boil water faster. And two, it does help with overflow. And I'll talk to you all in 4 minutes. All right, campers, we're at 21 minutes. That means this has been simmering for 4 minutes. The fuel just looks like it died out again, which is fine. So I put just enough fuel to get me the last 4 minutes. So I'm still sipping the Honduran coffee. My taste tester liked it. Says it's got a nice smooth taste. It's a light roast, so it's not going to be as strong as some of the other roasts out there. It's very smooth. It doesn't have a lot of flavor, but it's got a little bit. I could probably use a little bit more coffee when I'm making it. As far as our two combatants goes, the pluses for the Biolite is it does hold more liquid. I think a lot of the things they both have similar issues, and I've just gotten used to how to get around them with the Biolite, like the overflow issue. I should have turn off the APG, take it off, put it on the plate here, and called it, and then restarted it. That was a big issue. I was just so used to using Biolite, also because it does have, it's a 1.5 quart versus a 1 quart. I had a lot more space doing only a 1 quart of water. So ease of use, I would say APG is a lot easier to start up. It's okay. Why don't we press this while I'm talking? It's a lot easier to start up. You only need the fuel canister. Nope, sorry. Okay, so with the APG, its pros are it's a lot easier to start up. You don't have to gather fuel. You just hook on the canister, hook it on, just start up, get going. It was a lot quicker, 12 minutes compared to 21 minutes. Getting used to how to get the best heat out of it, learning curve is much easier on the APG, because it's literally, you turn on the gas, you hit the sparker, and you go. The one issue I did have was the APG was rocking a little bit when it was boiling. That's probably because it's all one unit when it's put together, where this is two separate units. So when the water boils in the Biolite, it doesn't shake around. As you saw, I poured water into this to push the grounds down with this, because it has a basket. You just push the grounds down like a French press and you're good. So overall, for ease of use, portability, and I'm going to try the coffee from this in a minute. But for those, I think I got to get to the APG. The only issues I would say be careful of with the APG is if you do get boil over, it is going to put out your flame. So you have to turn it off right away and restart it. But I didn't have any trouble with it restarting quickly. I didn't have to like clean it off. It just knocked out the flame real quick. So I would say if you're in high winds or rain, there's a chance this might burn out. But if you're dealing with wet wood, it's going to go out too. So although as far as high winds go, the Biolite is a little bit better protected against high wind than the APG burner. All right, campers, I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm going to drink my coffee, tell you what I think of the coffee from both devices, and we'll wrap this up. All right, campers, we're back. So we're gonna go through first. I want to talk about the Wilderness Coffee Honduran blend. It's a milder blend. It does taste good. My recommendation is after you pour it, let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes just to get a better taste out of it. I found once I let it sit, I got a slightly stronger taste. I could actually taste the coffee, not just the heat. It's very mild, very smooth. I will probably end up making it again. May even order it once I'm done with my sample pack. Now let's talk about our competition. I'm going to say overall, for if you're going into the woods back camping, take the APG. Even though the isobutane is a little more difficult to work with, it was a lot easier to set up, or actually it's not a little more difficult to work with. It's a lot easier to work with. It's just a little more difficult to find, obviously, if you're in the woods everywhere. I mean, the APG was done boiling in the time I just got the fire going on this. So it wins on speed. The taste difference, there's a slight taste difference. It was a little smoother out of the Biolite. And the fact that when you let it sit, because you still have the grounds, and I had less issues with grounds with the Biolite because of the French press versus just using cold water to draw the grounds down cowboy style. Also, safety factor is I actually have a little bit of a burn on the side of the APG, and that is because I had them a little too close when I was cooking them side by side, and the radiant heat from the Biolite actually burnt the edge a little bit. So I would recommend keeping everything away from the Biolite, because you are dealing with something that's using large wood flames instead of a contained gas flame. So that's a fourth category safety. I'm going to go with the APG, except if you do get boil over, make sure you turn off your gas right away, because I did have the burner go out twice with boil overs, but it lit right back up because it's a sparker. Sparkers aren't going to have as much issues in the pressure of the gas pushed the water out of the way once it wasn't being overwhelmed. So ease of use, it's going to go to the APG. Speed goes to the APG. Taste, I'm going to call by a slight amount of the Biolite. I did like the taste slightly better, but either or, the difference in taste is negligible, and if you add cream or coffee to it, you're probably not going to notice any difference. Cream or sugar, not coffee. Cream and sugar to it, you're not going to really notice any difference. For my videos, I'm probably going to stick with the Biolite because I already have a lot of pellets. I live in the woods, or my parents live in the woods, and I do most of my coffee videos at my parents' house. So on weekends, they get really good coffee cooked with a French press. Be jealous of them. So for me, and because I own them both, the Biolite's probably going to get more use, again, only because I like having my isobutane for emergency purposes, and it's a pain to get my hands on it. Okay, campers, that's going to be today's coffee review.